Amex cards can either be a massive drain on your wallet or be the reason why you fly business class. If you learn how to use them correctly, you can literally get paid back on all of the points that you earn. In this video, I'll be ranking all of the best Amex cards in the UK and telling you all of the detail you need to know. From introductory offers, ongoing rewards, who it's best for, APRs, and of course the annual fees. And overall, if it's even really a good card to get. If you're new here, hi, I'm George, and I'm a data analyst at a top Fortune 500 company, and I've been investing for around 5 years now. I make simple finance and investing videos to improve your financial journey. Now, firstly, before jumping straight onto the cards, I want to teach you how to use your credit card responsibly. But if you're already a seasoned credit card holder, skip to this timestamp here to see the credit cards. So firstly, before you get your first credit card or jump into getting an Amex, you need to learn how to use your credit card responsibly. Now, first things first is that credit cards are not free money. Remember that when you get your first credit card, this is not free money for you to go and spend. This is somebody else's money that you are spending. So when you've got your first credit card, the thing that I would recommend is that you always pay off your statement balance in full. So you've gone throughout the week, you've spent your money on your credit card, and at the end of the week, your statement balance is £500. You need to make sure that in your debit account, you have that £500 to spare in order to pay off the credit card full amount. Honestly, one of the worst things you can do is get your credit card statement and you see that it's sitting around £500 and only pay off the minimum payment, because you're going to be paying just that £500 over the course of 2 or 3 years, and it's going to turn into thousands of pounds with interest added. That's why at the end of the month or whenever your statement balance comes in, you need to always make sure the entire balance is paid off and it goes back down to zero. This is going to remain and keep your credit score from absolutely tanking each and every month and for it to crash over the course of a year. The next point is that you need to keep your credit utilization under 30%. Now, you may be asking, what is credit utilization and what does it mean? Well, effectively, if you have a credit card and for simple terms, it gives you a balance of £1,000 credit limit, and you go ahead and you spend £500 on that card, you have effectively spent 50% of the credit utilization. Now, most credit card companies are always trying to track you and see what credit utilization you're using. So you need to be using under 30%. Go back to the same example, we have £1,000. We want to be using only £300 of that 1,000. Now you might think, well, if I've got access to £1,000, then I'm going to spend all of it. But that's exactly what the credit card company wants you to do. This isn't necessarily a bad thing, but in the long term, it can actually affect your credit score. If the creditors, the banks, and the credit rating agencies see that you are using more than 30% of your utilization and are not able to pay it back each and every month, then your credit score is going to take a tank for it. So whatever your credit limit is, you should always be using under 30% utilization in order to not hurt your credit score and also not hurt your future of getting your credit limit increased. On to the third point. Do not chase cash back by spending more money. One of the worst things that you can do is get your credit card and see that they are giving 1% cashback, for example, or giving a good reward on points and bonuses. You then mistakenly think, well, the more money I spend, the more points I'm going to get. Now, this is partially true. The more money you spend, the more points you actually get. However, this isn't an excuse to go out and spend as much as you possibly can on whatever you want in order just to get that measly amount of points or cashback. If you have regular outgoing payments or you're going to be spending money on petrol or foods, some things that you can't live without, and you were spending them on your debit card, but previously not getting 1% cashback, for example, and you switch that over to your credit card and you're now getting 1%, then effectively you are getting 1% than you once did. However, if you believe that you go out and buy yourself an expensive Louis Vuitton bag, you go out and buy yourself and splurge on a bunch of shopping just to get that 1% cashback, this is not a great way of going about it and is not the best thinking. You should only be trying to utilize that cashback on things that you're already spending that effectively you can't live without. So in short, don't ever chase more cashback and points just by spending more. It's only going to hurt you in the long term. On to the fourth point, and this is to not spend money that you don't have in the bank. It can be really tempting when you get your credit card or you've just paid off your balance to start spending again, because this is the psychological impact that happens each and every time you get access to capital. But one of the worst things that you can do is spend money that basically doesn't exist. If you don't have £100 in your debit account and you go out and spend £100 on your credit card, perhaps hoping for the next payday that is going to pay it off. This is a very backwards way of thinking, and you shouldn't be spending money that you don't have. So always make sure that you have the capital, whether that be in your debit account or maybe in cash, stocks, whatever it may be, in order to pay off your credit card, as you don't want to be getting into debt with no money. And then on to the last point, you should be treating your credit card exactly like a debit card, but just think of it like with some rewards. So just like on your debit card, you're not going to go into overdraft. You're not going to be spending an insane amount to get you down to the low figures towards the end of the month. Try and think of the credit card as just a debit card with more rewards. You're going to be getting 1% cashback or points on every time you spend. So try and treat it like a debit card. Don't try and treat it, just like I said, chasing the rewards for spending more. And this brings me over to the best Amex UK credit cards right now. So going on to the first card is the American Express Preferred Rewards Gold Card. It has an introductory offer of 40,000 membership rewards points when you spend £5,000 in the first 6 months. And this is until January 2026. The ongoing reward is 1 point for every £1 spent, and 2 points on foreign spending, and 3 points on Amex travel spending. This card is best for beginners and mid-tier travelers who want more flexible points when they're spending abroad. Other rewards include a £120 in Deliveroo credit per year, and this is paid in £10 per month credit allowances. And you also get 4 free airport lounge access passes annually. The representative APR is 86.3% variable, and the annual fee is £195. However, for the first 12 months, this is completely free. Overall, I would say that this card is solid. It is a really, really solid card, especially with the introductory offer of 40,000 points and all of the 2 and 3x spending on foreign and Amex transactions. If you are looking to be traveling a little bit more often, maybe you're going away 5, 6, 7 times per year or more, then this is a card that is definitely for you, especially that you get 12 months for free as well. I think that this is a great, great offer that they are seeing if you can try it out before you end up paying the £195 per year. On top of that, 4 lounge access passes is actually really good. I'll be completely honest, those lounge accesses and inside the Amex lounges, the MasterCard lounges, and a couple of the other ones in the major airports in the UK and of course abroad, they are really, really nice. And if you get to use 4 of those per year, then you're just adding that little bit extra special to your travel. And then on top of all of that, an extra £120 in Deliveroo credit is just the cherry on top, in my opinion. This is paid to you £10 per month. I believe that the payments are given in £5 credit every 2 weeks, I believe. So by the end of the month, you have £10. So effectively, this will get you some of the money off. If you're living in London, probably won't get you a full lunch or dinner, but it's still nice to have an extra £120. Now, I would say financially, if you are paying £195 for this per year, and even if you're not using the points as much as you potentially should be, you're still getting £120 in Deliveroo credit, which is pretty good. Comment down below, have you already got an Amex, or are you thinking about getting an Amex at the moment? And let me know down in the comments what one you have or which one you're thinking about. And here we go on to card number 2. This is the Platinum Amex credit card. The introductory offer is 75,000 membership rewards points plus £250 travel credit when you spend £6,000 in the first 3 months. The ongoing reward is 1 point for every £1 spent. This card is best for higher spending and frequent travelers who will be utilizing the lounge access, travel insurance, and dining hotel credits that are offset by the fee. The representative APR is an eye-watering 688.5% variable, and the annual fee is £650. Some of the other rewards include Centurion Lounge access, plus also priority passes on all of your flights, and £400 in annual dining credits. £200 in the UK, £200 internationally. So overall, the Amex Platinum card, I think it is another solid card. However, I will say that this is definitely not for the beginners, especially if you're just starting out, you don't have a credit card, and you perhaps don't have an incredibly high salary. This one is going to be pretty expensive to uphold and really utilize. However, perhaps you are middle to upper class and you are traveling frequently. Perhaps you're traveling with your company or just by yourself, and you're going away 7 to 10 to perhaps even 12 to 15 times per year. You're going away once per month or even more. Then this one is going to be really for you, as you're going to be able to utilize the Centurion Access Lounge, which is absolutely beautiful, by the way. And you're going to be getting priority pass boarding on the majority of your flights. Not only this, but if you're traveling internationally, you're getting £200 in dining credit and an extra £200 here in the UK. The two slight disadvantages with this is, of course, the 688% APR, which is really, really high. And you need to be making sure that you are paying off that credit card statement in full each and every month before that interest hits you. And then on top of that is the £650 annual fee. If you're not traveling a lot and using the benefits to the best of their ability, it's going to be pretty difficult to get your money's worth, or to be able to try and break even on the card with all of the extra perks and stuff that you do get. So keep that in mind if you are applying for this card. Now we go over to the card number 3, and this is the British Airways American Express credit card. The introductory offer is 5,000 bonus Avios points when you spend £2,000 in the first 3 months. The ongoing reward is 1 Avios point for every £1 spent. This card is best for Avios beginners or those who don't want a fee. This card is the simplest way to start collecting British Airways points. The representative APR is 29.4% and the annual fee is £0. The other rewards with this card is that you get £50 back when you spend £200 at Marriott hotels, and you get £10 back when you spend £50 at Morrison's, Lululemon or Selfridges. Overall, I would say that this card is very, very good, especially if you're just getting into collecting points and perhaps you want to be collecting some of those British Airways Avios points. This is a really, really good beginner card for that area. Of course, the bonus points, you get 5,000 bonus points when you spend £2,000 in 3 months, which, I'll be completely honest, is pretty easy to do, especially if you're just doing your daily spending. £2,000 in 3 months is probably not that hard, especially in London or the UK. It's very similar to the other Amex point, in which there is 1 bonus points for every £1 you spend. And definitely the two positive with this one is the £0 annual fee, and of course the 29% APR. So it's not eye-watering like the previous one. And then also being able to get basically 25% off Marriott hotels when you spend £200. That's easily £50 off of 1 night or perhaps 2 nights travel if you stretch it. So yes, it still has some pretty good ongoing perks and also some pretty good little extra perks here and there. Going on to card number 4, and this is the Amex Cashback Everyday Credit Card. The introductory offer is 5% cashback on all purchases for the first 5 months, up to £125. The ongoing reward is up to 1% unlimited cashback. This card is best for cashback seekers who want a completely free card and don't care about the travel points. The representative APR is 29.4% variable and the annual fee is £0. Overall, I think that this card is an absolutely amazing one, especially if you're a beginner and you've never really had an Amex card before, especially that you don't need to be paying the annual fee. There isn't really any other rewards going on with this card because it's very Billy Basics, it's very down to earth, and it tells you what you get without having to figure out the rewards point system. It's just you get 1% cashback on all your spending and you pay it off. I would say that this is one of the easiest cards to justify spending on an Amex just because it's completely free. And if you're not really caring about all of the travel rewards and the Deliveroo credits and all of those other things, you just want a very simple card, this is definitely the one for yourself. Now, heading on to the card number 5. This is the British Airways American Express Premium Plus card. The introductory offer is 30,000 bonus Avios when you spend £6,000 in the first 3 months. The ongoing reward is 1.5 Avios for every £1 you spend. This card is dedicated for British Airways frequent flyers who spend enough and earn enough for the companion voucher. The other rewards on this card is of course the companion voucher, which you get after spending £15,000 annually on your card. The representative APR is 136.4% variable and the annual fee is £300. For this card, if you are a frequent flyer, this is going to be really, really good for you, as you're going to be getting 1.5 points for every £1 you spend. And if you're perhaps traveling for business or you're just traveling a lot in general, then you're going to be racking up those points pretty quick. And especially when you're flying through British Airways. If you're one of the people who don't really care which airline you fly with, and you're not really dedicated to flying with British Airways all the time, then this is probably not going to be the best card for you. Now, the best thing about this card is the companion voucher. It's considered one of the best perks in all of the credit cards in the UK. And this is a 2-for-1 voucher effectively. So once you've spent £15,000 annually on that card, you'll get the option for a companion voucher. And what you can do is you can go onto the British Airways website, you can book yourself a seat and effectively use your Avios points in order to book that seat. You get a companion to go with you for completely free. You don't have to spend any extra Avios points whatsoever. You don't have to add any extra money. You just book with your Avios points and someone gets to come with you completely free. This card is really good, especially if it's a couple that is using it for spending on all of their flying and then wants to get a free flight to somewhere in the world after spending your £15,000 annually. Overall, great card. And now we're going on to card number 6. This is the Marriott Bonvoy American Express card. The introductory offer is 20,000 bonus Marriott Bonvoy points after spending £3,000 in the first 3 months. The ongoing reward is 2 points for every £1 spent and 6 points for every £1 you spend on Marriott properties. This card is best for hotel loyalists who frequently stay at Marriott brands. The other rewards is the automatic Silver Elite status. The representative APR is 52.9% variable and the annual fee is £95. So I don't really see this card talked about too much, but if you are a loyalist to staying at all of the Marriott hotels, and believe me, Marriott hotels isn't just the Marriott brand, they have a ton of brands underneath them, and you can get all of these same perks and points at using it at them, and you stay there quite a lot throughout the year, then this is definitely going to be a card for you. When you get this card, you get automatic Silver Elite status. The way that you would normally get that status is you would have to stay 10 nights at a Marriott hotel throughout the year and you get silver status. And it goes up 15 nights, 20 nights, and you get gold and so on and so forth. But you get this status without having to stay 10 nights. You get it automatically just with the card. Now, the key benefits with getting silver status with this credit card is that you do actually get 10% off of hotels when you're booking with the credit card through Marriott. You get a late checkout. So instead of checking out at 12 or half 11, you'll be able to check out at 2 p.m. in most of the Marriott hotels. If the hotel can't honor your reservation at the one you want to go to, they will pay for you to stay at the nearest Marriott hotel and you'll not be charged any extra. I would say this card is amazing for a very hotel niche type of person, and you're spending quite a lot in hotels anyway. And of course, if you really want to climb the ranks of the Marriott Bonvoy rewards, you can become a gold member if you spend over £15,000 a year on the credit card. And with the gold points, you get 25% points bonus for every £1 you spend. The only slight disadvantage is I will say this is a £95 per year fee. So if you're not really staying in too many hotels and just want this isn't really a beginner credit card, it's for some of the more advanced users. This brings me over to which card would I personally choose. Now for me, I would personally choose card number 1, which is the American Express Preferred Rewards Gold Card, just because it has one of the best introductory offers possible, and it has some of the best ongoing rewards out of any of the cards in my personal opinion, especially with the Deliveroo credits. I am definitely not a high tier traveler, but I am definitely a frequent traveler. This year alone, I've been on 12 to 13 flights and been to over 6 countries. So this one would really work in my favor, and I might actually sign up for this one. But yes, that's the one that I would definitely be using. I would 100% be dodging that 83% APR and paying it off in full every month. But apart from that, I think that this is one of the best cards that is on this list. If you found this ranking really helpful, please make sure to hit the subscribe button and give the video a like. And let me know down in the comments which of these cards is the best one that you are thinking about. YouTube recommends that you watch this video here, so go ahead and give it a watch. Thanks, and I'll catch you in the next one.